and welcome to this video, which is going to be all about my job trying to get Prikken to enjoy spending time in the indoor arena, relaxing. This is the first time we went down there after the summer. I tried last winter, it didn't work very well. So I started out with just leading her around, letting her smell and investigate everything, making sure that she was like being somewhat calm. And she was pretty calm in the beginning. Yes, she was snorting a little bit and like sniffing and just being inquisitive. We had to look at the door quite a lot. I had left the door open because I thought she would be calmer if I did it like that, simply because she's not used to being inside, and therefore I thought if she saw that she could get out, she would be more calm. But the open door turned out to be a disaster. More about that later. So here we're just sniffing and checking things out, and like I said, she was pretty calm in the beginning. I was very pleasantly surprised. And here I'm just stopping, but she's not like listening to me. She doesn't stand still. So I go to move her around so she's standing the way she's supposed to stand and where we were stopping. And then when I do that, I make sure she's standing still. Now we're at the door again, and you can barely see her tail. I left it in because here she discovered some standardbred racer that came around this practice racing track that goes around this arena and around some like paddocks and everything. And she's freaking out because trotting races or standardbreds are insanely scary, like you can see. I mean, she's very hyped up for Prikken. I can still control her. But yeah, all I wanted to do was get her away from the door a little bit and try and get her attention on me, which wasn't that easy. Just asking her to move around. And she's more uninterested in looking at the very scary door. Asking her to move her feet, just trying to get her attention but backing up, which was a little bit hard. She was like looking over me. And yeah, here I'm like walking forwards and then trying to back her up again, and like just anything to get her attention. Like her owner, not the person that I call her owner, but her real life owner, who is not really involved, she said that if I wanted her to relax, it's best to give her something to think about all the time by moving her hind end, backing up, and moving her front end. So that is what I tried this day. And she does start focusing a little bit, but again, then she remembers that there's a really scary standardbred out there. So here I'm just trying to move her back end, trying to get her to put her inside hind leg underneath her, and again getting her attention by backing up. But it's not that easy, as you can see. And here she started to like focus a little bit more on me. Try to do some games with her, some backing up, just to get her focused. She's still pretty tense. But she's still like, she listens when I ask her to come at least. Again, not listening to me, being focused on something else. So we're backing up, and she doesn't even want to back up, so yeah, it's all about patience. Here, I've jumped a little bit in the timeline, and so I'm just letting her trot a little bit, and then having her listening to me when I stop her. So she doesn't like move in front of me, simply because she tends to get riled up when we trot down here. So I wanted to practice that a little bit when she'd started to calm down some more. And it went pretty well. There were some instances where she ran in front of me, like here, she was a little bit in front of me. And I try to like, when it takes some time because I don't want like to yank on her. It takes a little time for her to stop. I want her to listen to me and stop when my body language says stop, and not like this. So she's much more focused on the door, and therefore she wasn't focused on me. So I back her up, put her in the position that we were supposed to be in. Should probably have stopped and let her stand still there, but you know, I'm not an expert at this, so. Here I'm moving her front end and making her cross over her front legs, which she actually did really well. I was really pleased with her. She did get a lot of treats this day, just saying. Here we're moving her hind end again, and I've made another jump in the timeline so she's more calm. And as you can see here, she's starting to calm down. My goal being just to let her to walk around, relaxing, nothing more. And I think we did really well. So this is a little over a week later, and the fan was on in the arena, and so I turned off the sound because it was really, really noisy, and I don't know how to turn it off. So here, this day, I decided to do like a slightly different tactic. So we started off with walking around again, letting her have a look, letting her have a sniff. I'd left the door shut, so she wouldn't see any more races. But like, she does get spooked by things from time to time. I don't understand how she can hear anything from the outside when the fan is so loud, but apparently she can. So here I'm just asking her to stand by the scary space, and then I'm moving her to where she's spooked, and then stand there as well. Trying to be a little more consistent this time. So yeah, and here I picked up the stool, and I sat with her for quite a while, just wanting her to relax and chill out before we started doing anything. And I think this actually worked quite a bit, but I had to do like some mental exercises for myself so that I was calm, because I get really sort of impatient when I have to sit still. I'm not good at sitting still. So I had to like mentally do calmness as well, which was hard. But here you can see it's working. She's more and more calm. And so I get up, and then we decide we're gonna go for some walkies. So my goal today was just trying to get her to relax. And it was all about like hoping that she can not be spooked so much, that she would stay calm. And I think that went really well. So here I'm just trying to do some games with her, making her follow me when I'm moving around in the arena. Not pulling on the rope, of course, but just like making her focus on me. And she did that really well. And then, yeah, I decided I wanted to sit down and wait for her to lower her head and relax a little bit. She was still a little tense, but she relaxed more than she was. And then I did that and gave her some treats when she licked and chewed. This is by the door. That's like challenging for her because it's not a place where it's easy for her to relax. As you can see, she keeps like looking up, and she was pretty tense and looking for treats. She wouldn't really find calmness there, so I realized that maybe I should try a little bit further away first and then gradually move closer and closer to the door. So here I'm like maybe 7 meters away. I mean, it looks bigger because I have the camera on wide angles. So yeah, trying to get her to relax. And she does it much better here. So we're moving, and now we're almost at the door again. And I think this went a little bit better. She's still not as calm. But like, I'll take what I can get. Like, the fact that she's mostly focused on me, like there, she didn't want to focus on me as she started tensing up again. And it is a lot to ask her to calm down there. But like here, she's pretty calm. She licked and chewed a little bit, so I sat down again, making sure she's like trying to get her to relax. Stretch down. And I don't know if you can see that she's licking and chewing, but she is. So because she did that, I got up again. Here we're working on stopping when I give her the signal, and I was working on having her stop along the wall, but that wasn't really working for us at today. And I realize a lot of horses don't like the pressure of the wall, so you won't be seeing that on this film, but like I was a little bit of I tried and failed with where I could stop her. So you can see here we're further in from the wall and she's much calmer. So she's much more comfortable because there's not so much pressure on her. And yeah, just worked on her stopping, standing still and not swinging her bum out, basically. So here I'm like trying to position her again, like against the wall, but not against the wall, you know, like parallel to it. Trying to get her to stand still, which was hard. We worked on that for like the majority of the time, and I was down there for 45 minutes. You can think yourself like how much that was. I will be putting the unedited versions of these days up on YouTube, and I'll link them down in the description of this video if you're interested to see the whole process. But like here I'm just placing her in a hold, moving her, placing her in another hold. We're now closer to the wall, as you can see. So that was the second day. When you had the world's calmest horse, and then we came out and there were two trotting horses, or like standardbreds, and this is the result. Yay. She's like super tense. She was so relaxed, so incredibly relaxed, and then that happened. Fuck my life. Yeah. So now we're in October, and I had one session here. You can see she's very tense, but I had one session between the last one and this one with Mola in this arena. But she's still jogging and walk and everything. She was very tense this day. She was very calm when Mola was there, but I thought we're gonna have to try alone and just ride and see how we're doing. So yeah, I decided to just work her in trot. I warmed her up a bit first in rising trot, and you can probably see here that she's like running and running and running, and she took hold of the rein a lot, and she was quite stressed. kind of like she was in the winter when I tried to bring her down here. But especially on the right rein, because she likes to take hold of the right rein. But I had to warm her up before I could do anything with her. So I had to do some rising trot, and there's only so much you can do in rising trot, but she's like a little train going fast and pulling out of balance, as you can see. So here her walk is a little bit better, but still very tense. You can see the tail is in the air. Here I started sitting trot and working on transitions between walk and trot, but you know, she spooks from time to time. But like I said, just ride, don't pay any attention to it. And as you can see, the walk is getting better. There's been a break here in the filming. This is a little later in the schooling session. So she's calmed down a lot. She's not pulling, and she's listening to my aids, which is what I want. She's a good girl. She was very, very spooky this day. They were actually shooting a movie on the bridge that we have to cross getting down here. So, yeah. But here she started to calm down so much that I figured I could do a canter. So I asked her for a canter ride, and I must say the canter ride has become a lot better. She's more supple, and it's down to both the chiropractor and me working on it. So it has loosened up, and I'm really happy about it. And she came down to trot and she worked. And as you can see now, the walk is even more calm. So I'm very, very proud of her. She's doing so well. And here we're trotting, and I'm doing canter left. A little bit of trouble with the canter left transition, but not as bad. It was a lot worse the last time we rode here. So she's working really well. Very proud of her for finding some calmness down here and not stressing, and managing to like find her center and calmness. So here I'm trotting her off, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about this has been quite a big challenge for me. I was not looking forward to starting this training to get her to calm down here. I was like dreading it actually, but she has surprised me. It went much better than I thought. Like the first time I thought this is gonna take all year. I'm never gonna get her to calm down. But this is the fourth time, and she's now calm, and she's trotting and stretching, and I'm really, really proud of her. But I'm also proud of myself for doing this and persevering, even though it takes a lot of energy and mental and psychological effort for me. So I hope you guys enjoy this video of this journey we had in the indoor arena.